Bill Cleary is a former Guam attorney, but for the past 20 years or so has been in Japan practicing law and teaching it. He's also been involved in some high-profile cases. One in particular involved former Nissan Motors chairman Carlos Ghosn, who was charged by Japanese authorities with financial crimes involving the mishandling of corporate funds. But he managed to escape Japan in spectacular fashion, hidden in a crate aboard a private jet that ultimately flew him to his native Lebanon, where he remains out of the reach of the Japanese legal system. Attorney Cleary tells the story of two Americans who helped in the escape. Ex-Green Beret Michael Taylor and his son Peter. Cleary says Ghosn literally walked out of his apartment, took a train to Osaka, boarded a private jet, and avoided detection by immigration authorities by hiding in a crate.
He was out on bail, and he shows up at a news conference in Lebanon, and the Japanese authorities are just going crazy. How'd he get out? And then they're reporting that bail jumping is not a crime in Japan. The only thing you do is you forfeit the bail money, which was about $14 million. So I started thinking, wait a minute, if he did not commit a crime, how could people that assisted him commit a crime? You know, if the principal is not guilty of a crime, then how can somebody help him? And what happened was he was just out on his own, they took the Shinkansen to Osaka, and they got on another shuttle bus to the airport, and he got out. But then Peter and Michael were arrested in Massachusetts. So I reached out to their lawyer, Paul Kelly, and said, you know, they're reporting in Japan that it's not a crime. So maybe Michael and Peter are not guilty of anything.
Cleary was brought in as an expert witness in the case as the defense tried to argue his theory.
We tried to persuade the federal district court that they weren't guilty of anything under Japanese law. But the Japanese prosecutors in Tokyo gave counter arguments. And so what happened was they were extradited to Tokyo, and the father, Michael, served 2 years in prison, and his son was 1 year and 8 months. And now they're back home again.
Ghosn, meanwhile, remains in Lebanon and just last month filed a $1 billion lawsuit against Nissan. His story is also the subject of a Netflix documentary. Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.